Welcome back to Euro Roundup, where we analyse all of the football from across the continent. Today I'm joined by Dave Jackson because Chris Hamill and Patrick Van Straten are away with the shits. Ugly scenes.
Disgusting.
We're going to be kicking it off straight away over in Nice. Mario Balotelli, David, got a brace on his debut. Talk to me about it.
Well, first things first, a stat view. Balotelli scored more goals last night, 2 in fact, than he has in the previous 2 seasons as a whole. And that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I have always rated Balotelli.
Yeah, he's still only 26.
I'm not like when there was a few little rumours about him potentially coming to Arsenal. I know on Twitter a lot of Arsenal fans were getting angry, but I would not have been angry at all. I think the guy knows where the goal is, despite what the stat I've just said might kind of like suggest. But I just think if you feed him, he will score. And I know the first goal was a penalty, but second was a beautiful little header in.
Yeah, it's all about confidence for Mario.
Yeah.
He needs a manager who's really going to grow it. And I think Lucien Favre might be that man. Of course, took over Borussia Mönchengladbach when they were in the relegation zone in Bundesliga. And he took them to Champions League football within 3 seasons. Very impressive stuff. He's also well known as a serious maverick. The likes of Luke de Jong, when he joined the club, he completely isolated him, refused to let him train because he was signed without his permission. So we know that he's going to be a bit close to the line. That might suit Balotelli. Yeah. He might get the best out of Balotelli because of that. He's also grown. The likes of Ter Stegen at Borussia Mönchengladbach, Granit Xhaka, who's doing so well for Arsenal now. So it's going to be exciting to see what he can get out of Balotelli. But Dave, what do you think would be a successful season for the Italian?
I think if the big man can get up to 15 goals, I think that's fantastic. Because let's not forget, he cost nothing. He did not cost a penny, did not cost a euro. Okay. Again, if he can score 15 goals, that looks like a fantastic bit of business by Nice.
Yeah, very, very exciting to see how he does under Lucien Favre. But will he sparkle or will he flop again like he has over the last 2 seasons? Let us know what you think in the comments below. From one Italian to another, it's the Emperor of Rome, the gladiator himself, Francesco Totti, came off the bench to secure a 3-2 win over Sampdoria with a late, last-minute penalty and an assist. Dave, what a player Totti is. He just keeps doing it.
He's one of my favourite players of all time.
Yeah.
Right. So I've got a little stat for you guys at home. He has scored 5 goals and had 3 assists in his last 8 Roma games. That is phenomenal stats. And the fact that Roma were going to let this guy go is not only fucking moronic, but it's an absolute disgrace to the man's legacy. He is a top player. If any of you guys at home haven't maybe all about the Premier League or League or whatever, there must be some videos on YouTube of just watching this man play. He was the perfect forward. The forward, you know what I mean? But like, he could link play up, he could finish. In the air, he was fantastic header. He was top player.
And if you haven't seen his assist as well from the weekend for Dzeko,
perfection.
It is dirty. It is pure unadulterated
first
film.
time, boom.
Should be illegal. He's out on the touchline, spins, turns, first time ball, over the top, 40 yards, right into Dzeko's path, doesn't have to move, checks it, takes it down, finishes. Wonderful goal for Roma. He's now scored, Totti as well, with the winning penalty in 23 consecutive seasons.
Fantastic.
A real impact man off the bench for Luciano Spalletti. Like you talked about them, 5 goals in his last 8 games. When he needs a goal, Spalletti, he throws him in, and Totti usually comes up with the goods. Dzeko as well is still scoring goals. Mohamed Salah's got 2 in his last 3, and people were very worried when Miralem Pjanic left that Roma weren't really going to create anything. However, in this game they had 24 shots away from home against Sampdoria. Pretty impressive, despite the fact that the game was actually halted for about an hour because of torrential rain. They came back out, turned it around. Totti came onto the pitch. What a player. Not much more can be said about Totti other than the fact that he is definitely our hero of the week. We're going to take it from Viral Footy News. We're going to bring it over to Euro Roundup. And he, Francesco Totti, you are our hero of the week.
Right now to Spain now, where Atletico Madrid recorded their first victory of the season with a 4-0 win over Celta Vigo. Impressive, what do you think?
Antoine Griezmann was amazing on the day. 2 goals and a brilliant assist for Koke. Both of his goals were headers. I'm not sure there's been many players his height, Davo, that have been that good at heading. Throughout history, maybe Tim Cahill aside, Tim Cahill was a wonderful header of the ball. But Antoine Griezmann coming back, of course, missed the first game of the season after Euro 2016, found a bit of rhythm in his second game and now has settled in back to the player he was. Atleti though, yet again playing with less possession, 46% possession in this game, but still managed to hammer home a victory. Correa got a score sheet at the end, an exciting young talent just being brought through the ranks. They didn't have Gamero in this game, so Griezmann stepped up, took hold of the mantle, and as usual, led them to victory. However, I want to know, Davo, Do you think he's possibly the best striker in the world? Obviously, Luis Suarez, actually. Luis Suarez is the best striker in the world. Yeah. Top 3, though, maybe?
I think he's definitely in the top 3. And I think also, I don't think it's any surprise that Atletico had a bit of a sluggish start to the season. Griezmann starts scoring, Atletico win the game quite comfortably.
Yeah,
because don't get me wrong, this game was 0-0 for a very, very long time.
Yeah, it was.
And as you said, they didn't quite have possession. But if you're scoring 4 goals, you need all possession. I think that Leicester showed last season that you don't need possession to win games. And Atletico, I think they're going to be there or thereabouts.
Yeah, definitely up there with Real Madrid and Barcelona. And also, one of their draws earlier in the season came against Alaves, didn't it? And Alaves went to the new camp this week and hammered Barcelona.
Whoa, they didn't
hammered Barcelona.
They were extremely efficient.
They were efficient, however, they got the result against Atleti and Barcelona, so 4 points from a possible 6 against Atleti and Barcelona. Pretty impressive. But nevertheless, back to Madrid, where Atletico, 4-0 victors, have to be one of our biggest winners of the weekend. Congratulations, Simeone and Antoine Griezmann, for a great weekend.
Okay, so we're heading up to Scotland now with what could possibly be the worst defensive display in the history of football.
Oh my God, Philippe Senderos. How on earth is he still a professional footballer? That sending off was absolutely comedy gold, but Rangers as a whole were abysmal. This could have been 9 or 10. Lucky to get their goal on the counter-attack as well. Moussa Dembele could have had about 15.
There was, if you're a Rangers fan, there was no shape to their play whatsoever. Shape. You know, you're going away to Celtic, right? Just go there with a form. Again, it goes back to Pep. It's what makes Pep so good. He does the simple things so well.
Yeah.
He sets a team up to the best of their abilities. Yeah. Rangers went there and thought, let's just go have a kickabout.
We're gonna have a run out against Celtic. Torn apart. Scott Sinclair, by the way, looks fantastic signing. Yeah. Scott Sinclair, Moussa Dembele, and Kolo Touré, not Yaya. That would be seriously impressive from Brendan. But all 3 of those signings look fantastic this season. Scott Sinclair's got 4 goals in his last 4 SPL appearances. No wonder he's so on fire on that left-hand side. Moussa Dembele looks a real physical prospect for such a youngster as well. Yeah. He's manhandling Philippe Senderos at times. No surprise, I could manhandle Philippe Senderos. I'm 5 inches shorter than him, honestly. He's abysmal, the egg-headed twat. Nevertheless, Moussa Dembele gets his hat-trick, an instant Celtic hero. Yeah. 5-1 in the Old Firm. Humiliating as well for Joey Barton. The pre-game talk was Scott Brown versus Joey Barton head-to-head. It wasn't even a contest. Scott Brown played him off the park. If you've seen Scott Brown's post-match interview, it's hilarious. Make sure you go and check that out because, of course, he says that he went up to Joey Barton after the game and said, "Oh, you're right, fella. You're right." Which is quality because I would love to do that to Joey Barton. He's an absolute tosser. But nevertheless, Dave, embarrassing for Rangers.
Yes, I think that is the exact word. But if you're a Rangers fan, you got to just say, okay, it's a bad day at the office. Make sure you bounce back very, 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 very quickly next game. And Celtic, well played.
Barcelona on Wednesday, only seen that going one way. Of course, Alaves have done it. Celtic have just bounced Rangers. This could be 5 or 6-0 to Celtic.
It could be.
It won't be.
It won't be. But yeah, good luck to them on Wednesday.
Good luck.
For our final story, we're heading over to Stoke-on-Trent, where Spurs delivered out a hammering 4-0 at the Britannia.
Absolute pumping. The Britannia was not rocking for once. Actually, it's the Bet365 Stadium now, I think it's called. Mark Hughes was sent to the stands. Son, who was nearly sold by Mauricio Pochettino in the summer, ripped them apart on that left-hand side. A worldie of a second goal and a fantastic finish on his first. Christian Eriksen as well looks really, really on fire this season. I believe he's got the second most assists behind Mesut Ozil since the start of last season, around 15. He's looking very impressive alongside Dele Alli. Son, he's got Janssen up front, he's got Kane. There's a lot of options for Pochettino going forward.
I think he has, and I think Spurs always look good against what we call like the lesser teams. But I think where they struggle is against the bigger teams, and that is going to be the difference between when they are actually going to properly challenge for the title or kind of fade away.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty close. However, Stoke, dearie me, they have started the season terribly, got pumped by Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, currently sit bottom of the table. Mark Hughes is in the stands. Their defence is a shambles. They brought in Bruno Martins-Indy from Porto, who looks awful. Wilfred Boney is going to have to start scoring some
goals. That's what I was about to say, yeah. I think they desperately need Boney to start scoring sooner rather than later, else they could find themselves in the relegation scrap.
Yeah, but will Stoke go down this season, or will they stay up? And how long should Mark Hughes stay in charge of Stoke before they give him the chop? Let us know what you think in the comments below. So that was our Euro roundup, but who had a good weekend, who had a bad weekend? Let us know what you think in the comments below.
Yes, and if you enjoyed this, why don't you check out our top 10 club legends featuring the legend Francesco Totti. It's playing on screen now. Give it a click.
There's a link in the description as well. And as always, guys, please do like and subscribe.
Peace.